Another Phillips podcast for Z-Peeps. P to the fourth power. Don't forget, your 10-question packet is due Monday. You did not have any homework from the workbook tonight. You may take a packet home to work on it if you are not finished. Please show your work for all the problems. BTW, you have a district quiz tomorrow. TY. And it'd be really annoying if I talk in this voice the whole time, so I'm not. Hello, Z-Peeps. Today's podcast is going to be on lesson 4.4, finding the slope and rate of change. So make yourself a note. Today's lesson is on 4.4, finding slope and rate of change. If you would, draw yourself a picture. If your linear equation, nice, bears. If your linear equation is going up and to the right, that is a positive slope. You're going uphill, that is a positive slope. Please make yourself a note that if your linear equation is going down and to the right, you're going downhill, that is a negative slope. Memorize these two, your life will be a lot easier. Alrighty, if you would, please write on your paper. Slope equals rise over run, which equals the change in y over the change in x. Please write slope equals rise over run, which equals the change in y over the change in x. Sometimes in math, they're going to try to trick you. Don't let them trick you. Slope is known as rise over run. It's also known as the change in y over the change in x. Sometimes they don't write the word slope. They're trying to trick you, and instead of writing slope, they write the variable m. I have no idea why they picked m, and who cares? Just memorize the fact that slope can be represented by the variable m. The other thing that you need to become familiar with is the formula. The formula to find the slope is right here. So please write the formula y over 2 minus y over 1 over x2 minus x1. There's your formula, y over 2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, I don't want you to stress out. You do not have to memorize this formula. So just relax. Don't stress out. You don't have to memorize the formula. What you need to be able to do is during the games, they will give you a reference sheet. Here's a copy of it, your Algebra 1 end of course reference sheet. They also use a reference sheet for geometry. So most of you, I won't mention any names, will be using this reference sheet next year for geometry. We want all of you to be using it next year, and so should you. But I digress. On your reference sheet during the games, right here, they will give you the formula for slope. Remember, slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So don't stress out. You don't have to memorize it. It'll be on your reference sheet, but you do have to know how to use it. So let's do an example. If you would, please write down the ordered pairs 5, 2 and 4, negative 1. We're going to find the slope of that line or that linear equation that passes through these points. We're going to find the slope. So first thing you need to realize is you can find the slope by using these ordered pairs. So write your formula again on your paper, please. And your formula is slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So here's our ordered pairs. This is what I'm going to do. I am going to label that x1. I'm going to label this y1. I'm going to label this x2. I'm going to label this y2. So all I did was label my ordered pairs x1, y1, x2, y2. Now that I have them labeled, I can substitute and put things into the formula. So the first thing I'm looking for is I'm looking for y2. Right here, I have y2. So I am going to take -1 and put it right here. And b. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2, which is y1, and I'm going to put 2 in here for y1. The next thing I'll do is I'll substitute 4 for x2. This is my x2. Next step, I'll substitute 5 or x1 for x1. Alrighty, so I have -1 plus a -2, or you can say -1 minus 2, and on the bottom in my denominator I have 4 minus 5. Alright, I'm going to do my numerator first, so I'm going to cover up my denominator. So I have a -1 plus a -2, or on your calculator you can just do -1 minus 2. In either case, when you do that, you will get -3. If that doesn't work for you, the Vikings quarterback loses 1 yard. On the next play, the Vikings quarterback loses 2 yards. Altogether, the Vikings quarterback has lost 3 yards. You owe Mrs. Cole $1. You owe Mr. Phillips $2. Altogether, you owe -$3. Now I'm going to do my denominator. I know that 4 minus 4 gives me 0. So 4 minus 5 is going to give me a -1. So now I have -3, fraction bar, -1. Should be easy peasy. We've been working problems like this for a while. That means -3 divided by -1. You can do one of two things. You can say if the bad guy is leaving town, everybody is happy. Or you can simply say that a negative divided by a negative is a positive. In either case, we get +3 or 3, so we can say that our slope is +3 or 3, or remember to use the variable m, da bears, for slope. Alright guys, that concludes today's lesson. We'll be working with slope some more. Just remember, it's pretty easy. Just plug the numbers into the formula and chug.